What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to episode number 677 of Underground Sports Philadelphia, presented by the city of Vineland. It's your boy, KB, back on track. Yes, this episode is back on track. I am so excited, juiced up. I just wish this team would have performed a little bit better to come away with a win on Sunday, but we'll talk about them. We'll talk Phillies baseball as the regular season has come to a conclusion. We'll talk a little Matvei Michkov, and guess what, guys? Now that the regular season in baseball has come to a conclusion, we have the final numbers for the 2024 Underground Stats and Info and your Platinum Plunk inaugural award winners. I'm stoked because I just looked at it, and my oh my, was I not expecting that. Make sure, before we get into everything, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI across the board, or just search Underground Sports Philadelphia on your favorite social media app, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn. We're on all of them. So follow us over there across the board, and you can follow me on Twitter at KBIZZL311 and on Instagram and Threads at KBIZZLE11. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts in audio form. Leave a 5-star rating and review. It does go a long way for helping this show continue to grow, helps more people find Underground Sports Philadelphia, and as we head into Red October, the heart of this Eagles season, getting ready for the Sixers, the Flyers, the whole 9 yards. Let's get this community rocking and rolling, ladies and gentlemen. I'm excited. I have like a new energy about me with the pod, and just the creative flow is going, and I'm excited about that. So subscribe, Apple and Spotify, and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. That is where you get full video episodes of this show twice a week. Mondays and Thursdays are when they release. Mondays and Thursdays on our YouTube channel. Click the like button. Leave a like on the video. Drop a comment in the comment section. And, of course, click that bell icon. Make it ring. Ring the bell so you know when new videos, live streams, clips, shorts, all that stuff goes live. We are at 844 subscribers, so like and subscribe, like and subscribe, like and subscribe, and let's get to 900 before Red October truly kicks off on Saturday, October 5th. And of course, guys, this show is presented by the City of Vineland, and the City of Vineland Municipal Calendar features city-organized, city-sponsored, and city-affiliated events that are of public interest. Pardon me. The calendar, which is accessible at vinelandcity.org, is a good way for residents and visitors to build awareness, remain engaged with city government, and participate in local events. You can also follow the City of Vineland on social media via their Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube pages. And through these tools, you can stay connected to the community and get important announcements about programs and services offered by the city. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. We're going to start with the unfortunate news. And we're going to talk about this Eagles loss. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. It's brought to you by our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. You want to stand out in the crowd, going into the next tailgate, head into Red October, going to your favorite bar, watching at home. You want to stand out. PHI Apparel Company's got you covered with the best Philly sports merch in the game and exclusive Underground Sports Philadelphia podcast merch as well. Most effective and direct way to support us and everything we're doing is buying merch from PHI Apparel Company. They are the best merch partners in the game. Click the link in the description or go to phiapparel.co, and when you fill your cart up to the gills ready to rock and roll, Use code UNDERGROUND at checkout, and you get a generous 10% off your next merch order. That's code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your next merch order at phiapparel.co, or click the link in the description. Same thing. Use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. And when you get your merch, tag us in it. Tag us. Showcase what you got. We'll repost it on our social media. So get your merch. phiapparel.co, code UNDERGROUND, 10% off your next order. The Eagles embarrassed themselves down in Tampa today. Now, granted, they were down A.J. Brown. They were down Devontae Smith. They were down Lane Johnson. And throughout the game, guys were cramping up. Throughout the game, guys were out. Reed Blankenship ends up going out with an illness, which I am going to assume, and you know what assuming does, that it was heat exhaustion. I hope Reed is okay. Flat out embarrassing loss. They were not prepared whatsoever for this game. The game plan on both sides of the ball was absolute dog water. The offense, I don't know what today's obsession, and this is no offense. This is no offense to Kenny Gainwell. I think he's a great dude. I think he delivers in the certain packages you use him in. He's an effective player. But there was way too many times throughout this game before it really got out of hand that Kenny Gainwell was in on second, third down in the red zone. And it's like, what? Saquon Barkley is on this team. Like, you saw throughout the game, as soon as they started giving the ball to Saquon Barkley, what he was doing for this team. He is the best player on the offense in terms of skill position player. Give him the football. I was flabbergasted by the game plan on offense today. You are down your top two wide receivers, your all-pro, future Hall of Fame right tackle, and you're choosing to let Jalen get absolutely crushed on more than 67% of his dropbacks. He faced pressure. He was sacked, I think it ended up being 5 or 6 times in this game. It was ugly. Ugly. Jalen was not comfortable. His pocket presence was bad, and I'm not saying it's the whole reason, but part of the reason is obviously he didn't have Lane Johnson there on his right side. Fred Johnson, you were admirable against the Saints this week. It was a tough go for you. Mekhi Becton, also very sus this week. I don't know if he's 100% with his finger injury and everything. Cam Jurgens, cramps up. Leonard Dickerson was not 100%. And it looked like this team was just not prepared to play football. It was almost like, hey, we know AJ, Devontae, and Lane are going to be back after the bye. Let's just go through the motions. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we don't. It was a deplorable game plan on all phases of the football. In all phases of this game, it was bad. From start to finish, and Baker Mayfield, I have a shit ton of respect for. I think Baker has turned his career around exponentially with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But you let Baker Mayfield carve you up like he was Joe Montana. It was disgusting. You were down 21-0, and I was at Xfinity Live for the game, and I was with a bunch of my close friends. Shout out Vicky and Tyler. And I was ready to be like, yo, let's pack it in now because this game is over. And there were little glimpses of hope that they would give you, but the game was so out of hand. Like, they were so overmatched, so outcoached. And the Buccaneers just came in ready to play a football game, and the Philadelphia Eagles were not ready to play. And I understand. The feels-like temperature was like 108 degrees at peak temperature, and it was a 95-degree day and humid and disgusting in Tampa. That's not an excuse. You need to come ready to play, and for whatever reason, Todd Bowles is the kryptonite to Jalen Hurts and this Eagles team time and time again. Jalen has one win in his career against Tampa Bay, and it was last year in that Monday Night Football game when he had the flu. This was a bad football game. Now, is the season over? No. But through 4 games and now going into your bye week, because typically when you go into your bye week, that's when you figure out the next expectations for your football team. it's okay to temper your expectations, in my opinion, about this team. There is a lot about this team that is suspect across the board that I don't think we as fans kind of took into account coming into the season, and it's not great. It's not great. You know, there's a lot of things that could be going our way where you take the points in that Falcons game and maybe you're 3-1, and this is your first loss of the season. Or two guys don't run into each other last week against the Saints and you're 1-3. It's a week-to-week league. The offense was not great, but even more so, the defense was despicable. Despicable. And I knew it was coming a mile away in a game like this. I'm taking pause because of how hilarious it is and how just absolutely immature and absurd it is that this was posted. The fact that after a game where you played like absolute shit, and guess what? We as fans can point that out because we watched the game. You were bad, big dog. You were bad in this game. Darius Slay, in a since deleted tweet after the game, and now he's on private on Twitter because he needs to hide his tweets for an account that has 283,000 followers. Come on, dog. Let's be serious here. The fact that Darius Slay tweets at 5:23 p.m. on Sunday, so an hour after the game, just tweets his career stats and says, when you talk bad about me, don't forget to mention the greatness of me too, with the shrug emoji. Brother, read the fucking room. You were absolutely horrendous in this game. Like, how does one even think it's remotely okay to go and post something like that on social media after the way he played in this game? Multiple times getting beat, multiple missed coverages. There's the clip of him in the end zone when the ball gets dropped by the Bucs receiver on third down, incomplete, and he's doing one of these incomplete things. You didn't do shit to prevent that, bro. Like, I'm just fed up with the selfishness and the I, me mentality from Darius Slay. It's ridiculous. Dude, you're 33 years old. Okay? You're not that much older than me. You got named a captain of this team. You have young dudes at your position looking up to you and learning from you. And you're going to go and act like a child on social media like that because people are calling you out for playing bad. Read the room. Say, hey, I got to be better. That's all you got to say. You don't got to say anything. You don't have to pick up your phone after the game to tweet. Like, it's that simple. You had a bad game. Keep the phone away. Maybe instead of worrying about guys' fingernail polish and what other dudes on other teams are doing, worry about locking down your position instead of locking down your Twitter account. I'm tired of it, man. Grow up. He's really getting on my nerves a lot this year because he's it's like one step forward, 6 steps back with him. And it's not fun. You know, when your best corner right now is Quinyon Mitchell, and that's no slight to Quinyon. He's playing great. But you need other dudes to step up. And when you're a 33-year-old veteran on the team who's a captain, who has been paid by this team to be a lockdown corner, maybe read the offense a little bit better. Know the defensive scheme a little bit better. I get it's a year one of a defense. But, dude, you have to be better, and you can't. You cannot logistically think it's okay to log on and just tweet your career stats after a game like that. Just so dumb, so dense. It's like having blinders on. Like, it's pathetic. I'm so sick of it. The defense was bad. This team has no pass rush whatsoever. Brandon Graham is your best defensive lineman, and he's 36 years old. And that's no slight to BG. That's a thank Christ you're on this team. Because Bryce Huff has become the biggest lemon of a free agent we have signed in a long time. Jordan Davis, I don't know, man. He's not doing much. Jalen Carter, I think, is a great player, but also gets held back when teams know he's the only game wrecker. They can kind of double team him and get away with it. And teams are getting away with holds on Jalen Carter a ton, and it's not getting called. But when you neutralize a guy like that, you lose your entire identity on the line. And Baker Mayfield was getting the ball out in under 2 seconds today. That's not necessarily a reflection of the pass rush. That is the back seven, the linebackers, the secondary, missing their assignments and not being on top of the ball, not reading the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hand. That's just piss poor play. It's unprepared. It's sloppy. And when I see my guy, and I love my guy, Johnny Venerable is my guy through and through. Covers the Arizona Cardinals for PHNX at the All City Network. When I see him tweeting about Vic Fangio fixing the Eagles' defense, it drives me nuts. And it just makes me happier when the Cardinals are getting absolutely boat raced when Jonathan Gannon was supposed to be their savior. Johnny, well, come on, brother. Come on. This team's not very good right now, guys. Yes, they're injured. Yes, they were missing 3 very, 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 very important players. But at the end of the day, when you know those guys are going to be out, the rest of the guys need to step up. The coaches need to dumb shit down for the rest of the players. And it seems like they didn't do that today. They made things more difficult for themselves. You had glimpses. You had that 70-yard drive. But the lack of Saquon early in the game, the lack of Saquon overall in the game, the lack of throwing the ball to Dallas Goedert in much better situations was baffling. I need to see what Dallas Goedert finished with overall receiving today, because it felt like, he'd make a 5-6 yard catch and then disappear again. It was very strange, very annoying, and a game that, again, Dallas had 7 catches for 62 yards. That was your leading receiver. You didn't have a 100-yard receiver today, which, sure, probably shouldn't be the case when you are missing your top 2 wide receivers, but you need to get guys more involved. Your next leading pass catcher was Paris Campbell, who scored your 1 touchdown in the air today. A guy who was cut in training camp, was feeling some type of way about being released and then being offered the practice squad, left, and then just came back. You had John Ross running around there, number 38, which was just gross. John Ross, what are we doing, brother? And outside of Dallas Goedert and Paris Campbell, you had Jahan Dotson had 2 catches for 11 yards. He's been a complete non-factor in this offense. And Saquon Barkley had 2 catches for 32 yards. Outside of that, no one else had multiple catches. It was a bad, bad game, guys. It was bad. It was ugly. The Eagles are the only team in the NFL this year so far to not score in the first quarter. At one point, they had 0 points and 0 yards after the first quarter. And you got shut out in 2 out of 4 quarters in this game, where the Buccaneers scored points in every single quarter. It was bad. It was bad. This team looked bad. And I don't want to hear the narratives of like, oh, the Eagles have lost 10 out of 13 of their games, their last 13 games under Nick Sirianni. Like, I don't care about the past. I care about this game in particular. You are now 2-2. Like, that's how it breaks down for me. Like, you're 2-2, and you could easily be 3-1 if you won that Falcons game, but that doesn't matter now. And we're going into the bye week now, where you're going to have the national media and your local media just spewing utter nonsense for the next 2 weeks. It's not going to, like, thank goodness we have Red October on the horizon to supplement a week. Because I'm telling you guys right now, I am warning everybody. If you, for some reason, are just a normal civilian and don't need to be following WIP or 97.5 or any of the local media outlets that are like on the air or whatever it may be, just mute them motherfuckers on Twitter. Mute the fuck out of those accounts. Mute any host that you don't feel like their opinion is worth a damn to you, because it is going to be toxic as all get out. And it's not going to be fun to deal with that for 2 weeks. Like, I get, you can hear me right now. I'm frustrated with this team. I'm very frustrated with this team. But I'm gonna keep it baseline. I'm gonna keep it, hey, there's still 13 more games on the schedule. I'm not gonna sit and saturate over this loss for 2 weeks. That's just not how you need to operate. It's not good for up here, for your mentals to just sit on something like that. It's ugly. There was not a lot of good in this game. And now you go into your bye week 2-2. Hopefully you get healthy. Hopefully, AJ is good to go against the Browns. Hopefully Devontae is back from his concussion. Lane is back from his concussion. And you go from there, It's going to be nice. Okay, when you look at the schedule early in the season, you see the week 5 bye, and you're like, that's really early. Like, that sucks for us. It's going to be nice for the opening week of the NLDS and the first 2 games here at home. There's not going to be Eagles football to worry about. Okay? There's not going to be Eagles football to worry about. We get a nice little reprieve. We're shifting into Red October mode, okay? We don't have to worry about the football team right now. We can just rest, relax, put that stress back here, off the camera. Put the stress over here. And we can worry about the Phillies, who are playing for meaningful baseball. But we have been thinking about, for the pod and multiple shows, about introducing a voicemail line. I know F1 Underground is kicking theirs off this week. We're going to see how it goes. And then potentially adding it into this show and Outside the Box. If you're an OTB listener as well, we're definitely thinking about it for that show as well. But let me know in the YouTube comment section if you guys want us to add a voicemail line, in particular for the Monday shows, where you call in and we'll have them play on the Monday shows for everybody. You call in, we'll listen to them, we'll react to them, and all that good stuff. But let me know in the YouTube comment section. Tweet at us if you want us to add the voicemail line, and we'll see how that goes from there. But ugly game. And I'm okay with it. I'm okay that, the loss sucks, but at the end of the day, you kind of went into today's game knowing they were going to lose. And that's fine. It's okay. It's still early. I think Dallas Goedert said it the best. We're 2-2. It's not college football. Our season's not over. That's how you have to operate, okay? I know it's a week-to-week league, and we live and die every single week with this team, but at the end of the day, the season's not over. They are still, very much in the mix in the division. Same record as the Cowboys. The Commanders look good, which is concerning a little bit, but you're going to be fine, okay? You just need to figure out a lot during this bye week. And your next 4 games after the bye week are going to tell a lot about this team and how they come out firing in the month of October. Because you have the Cleveland Browns, you're at home against them. Then you go to the Giants, they stink. Then you go to Cincinnati, who just got their first win against the Panthers this week. And then the Jacksonville Jaguars come here Sunday Night Football. The Jaguars stink. That's your next 4. We could easily be sitting here first week in November, and the Eagles are 6-2, and we're okay. And then we're okay. But that's what they got to focus on. They need to focus on getting shit right so that these next 4 games out of the bye week are a lot more successful than the first 4 games of the season. It's tough. It's tough. But let's shift to the good stuff.
At the Vineland Municipal Utilities, we understand that when our business community thrives, we all win. As a not-for-profit utility, our reliability, lower cost of operations, and flexibility in meeting customer needs make doing business in Vineland beneficial to your bottom line. What's more, we are able to do so while maintaining our commitment to environmental stewardship. We look forward to helping you achieve your business goals now and for years to come. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season.
All right, the good stuff is here, and it is brought to you by our awesome pals over at FOCO. Guys, give me a minute. I'm shifting into Red October mode. FOCO is the best way to do it. FOCO has the best Red October apparel merchandise available that is officially authenticated and officially licensed through Major League Baseball. Get your overalls. It's overall season. Get your shortalls. Get your hats. Get everything you need for Red October from our friends at FOCO. They have the best potential to elevate your wardrobe for Red October, to elevate your man cave, your she shed. They have brand new Phillies neon light to get you going. It's overall season. I am very excited to be living in my overalls for the next month and a half. Get yours. Gear up with FOCO. Click the link in the description. Everything you need for Red October is curated for you in the description. They are the best in the game. When you get your stuff from FOCO, tag them, tag us. We'll repost it. We want to see you rocking your overalls, your shortalls, your hats, scarves, sweaters, shirts, everything. Bring them bobbleheads out. All of it. We want to see everything from FOCO. Your turnover chains, everything. Click the link in the description. We have a full-blown Red October catalog curated for you to get your officially licensed Red October gear through FOCO. FOCO is the best. Big thank you to FOCO for being a proud partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia and sponsoring the podcast. Guys, Red October is here. The Phillies finish off their season with a big-time win against the Washington Nationals in D.C., and they finished 95-67 on the year, most wins in a season since 2011 when they won a franchise high 102 games. They finished with a plus 113 run differential, which we'll get to run differentials as well pretty soon. Very excited to talk run differentials this episode. The Phillies finished with a 54-27 home record. They were 41-40 on the road. And, you know, I tweeted this from the account where it is, it's one of those things that it is tough because you want to get ready for Red October. You want to get ready for the playoffs. But you also, don't lose sight of how awesome this season was. Don't lose sight about how cool of a season 2024 was in the regular season for the Phillies. And I know it's the regular season. It's not the playoffs. You know, it's how you finish and what ends up the result of the full season. But at the end of the day, the 2024 Phillies were such a joy for all of us. Okay, they had their highs, they had their lows. But at the end of the day, this team did things that we haven't seen since the run from 07 to 11 or ever. Okay, we sent the most All-Stars to the All-Star game. We have 9 guys nominated for the All-MLB team. We saw Zach Wheeler deliver what should be a Cy Young season. We saw Kyle Schwarber go from being just a 3 true outcomes player to really becoming a full capacity leadoff hitter, hitting singles, doubles, leadoff home runs galore. He was doing it all. We saw Bryce Harper turn into an elite first baseman right before our very eyes. We saw Nick Castellanos play and start 162 out of 162 games this season. First player since Jimmy Rollins to accomplish that feat for the Phillies in 2007. Nicky C started 162 games for this team. That is a feat and a milestone that deserves so much praise. Because the season started rough for Nick. And you guys know, Nick Castellanos is our guy on this show. We will always support him. And to see him turn his season into what it was, and for a good stretch of the second half, be a true reason why the Phillies are where they are right now. He carried this team in so many ways for a 2.5, 3-month stretch. It was awesome to see him turn it around from a rough go for the first 2 months of the season. We saw Alec Boehm evolve before our very eyes into an elite third baseman. Okay, we saw Christopher Sanchez come into his own and become an all-star, get a contract extension, and become a legitimate third starter on this team. That he will be the third starter in the postseason. We saw Ranger Suarez have an elite first half of the season and have his moments in the second half and become a guy who we can, throw out there and know he's going to be a part of this team for the long haul. We saw Aaron Nola be that guy again. And the real ones know. We've known Aaron Nola's that guy. We saw Jeff Hoffman, Matt Strahm become 2 of the best relievers in baseball. Hashtag sign Jeff Hoffman. We saw Jose Alvarado overcome a lot this year. Orion Kerkering take that next step. We brought in Carlos Estevez to be a closer for this team. We said goodbye to some familiar faces. And at the end of the day, this season was so much fun. And no matter what happens in the playoffs, it's silly to kind of write off a season and the fun that you had along the way, because the result may not be what you think it's going to be. Now, I wholeheartedly believe this team can win a World Series. But don't lose sight of what the journey was to get to where we're about to go starting this weekend. Don't lose sight of the London series. Don't lose sight of claiming the division title essentially in May and never relinquishing it. Don't lose sight on taking 5 out of 6 from the Dodgers this year. This season was a lot of fun. And a big thank you to everyone at the Phillies who were involved. And a big thank you from a personal level to the Philadelphia Phillies for, I may not have been on the beat and covering the team day in and day out, but I had opportunities to be in the mix with the Phillies media this year, especially around the draft, and to be on press conferences with Brian Barber. You know, shout out to our guy Dante Nori, who follows the pod now. Like, it was a really awesome season for me. Another year of being a season ticket holder and experiencing games with my sister, my mom, my dad. It's moments that you can't ever take that away. And we capped off the regular season as National League East champions for the first time since 2011. This season was special. Keep it close here. And let's make it grow. Let's evolve this thing. This was the first step. Now it's time to gear up for Red October. Postseason baseball is going to be amazing, and the cool part is, by the time you guys are listening to this, it'll be Monday. We got Mass Chaos Monday on deck because of how things shook out on Sunday. The Braves lost to the Royals, the Mets won, and the Diamondbacks won, which ensued and ensured that the doubleheader had to happen in Atlanta. So we have Mets-Braves doubleheader action where if one team gets swept, the team that is swept is out, the Diamondbacks are in, and then if they split, the Diamondbacks are out, effectively, is what it means. It would be so funny if one of those teams gets swept. Regardless, it's going to be funny because the Diamondbacks missing out on the playoffs after going to the World Series in a Mickey Mouse fluke year for them will just further legitimize how Mickey Mouse it was that they even went to the World Series last year. But then if the Mets get bounced from the playoffs, hilarious. The Frank the Tank meltdown will feed families for a generation. If the Braves get bounced, it will be hilarious because the Braves fans online will be intaking so much copium. It will be absurd. And effectively, the Phillies' opponent in the NLDS can be one of 3 teams. They've avoided the Braves in the NLDS because the Braves will either be the 5 seed or they'll miss the playoffs altogether. The Phillies' opponents will either be the Mets, the Diamondbacks, or the Brewers. Because the 3 plays the 6th, the 3 is the Brewers, and then it'll either be the Mets, the Diamondbacks, whoever ends up getting in. Now, at the end of the day, I think the Brewers beat whoever they end up playing. And then the Phillies play the Brewers in the NLDS. And sorry, Reese, we got to knock you out, brother. But that is the situation there, is that the Phillies' opponent in the NLDS will either be the Brewers, the Mets, or the Diamondbacks. A lot of revenge, a lot of familiar opponents, like I said on the last episode, where you have Rhys Hoskins, you have the Mets, you have the Diamondbacks. A lot of familiarity factors that could come in this NLDS. I'm excited. I will be in the building on Sunday for Game 2 with CFO Margie. So you will have in the bank coverage of Game 2 of the NLDS. I'm nervous because I know what this team is capable of, and I just want them to succeed and accomplish it. But I'm also wildly excited for the postseason. Like, I am ready to go to war with this team. I am ready to fight for this team, and I'm ready to see what they deliver, in this opening round, in the NLCS, hopefully in the World Series. And then hopefully at the end of the day, they clinch it in 4, and we're raising that trophy, and your boy's in the building for it. But I'm wildly excited for Red October. Like I mentioned on the last episode, the Armentani brothers are going to be coming on the pod soon. Hopefully this week. I'm working on scheduling with them. But yeah, I mean, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's a third straight Red October. And it is going to be an absolute blast, and I can't wait. Like, I get goosebumps thinking about turning my TV on Saturday, whatever time it's going to be, and we'll have Red October rally towels going at the bank against a plethora of opponents. And whoever it is, welcome to 4 hours of hell. But I'm excited. I'm pumped for this team. I think they know what they're capable of. I think they know what they have to do to succeed. And I think Rob Thompson's one of the best managers in baseball. And when you have one of the best managers in baseball who can push buttons correctly, you're poised for success. So let's get ready to rock and roll, and let's dance, baby. Let's dance, because it is postseason baseball time. It's that time of year. Let's go. But let's talk a little underground stats and info. It has been a long, long time since we've done this, ladies and gentlemen. Brought to you by FOCO. Your end of season results for your underground stats and info. The Los Angeles Dodgers finish with the best run differential in the National League with a plus 156. The Brewers finish with the second best at plus 136. And the Phillies finish with the third best at plus 113. The Padres with a plus 91. The Braves with a plus 95. The Mets with a plus 73. And the Arizona Diamondbacks, who scored the most runs in the National League this year with 886, finished with a plus 98. The Cubs at a plus 67. The Cardinals with a minus 47. The Giants with a minus 6. The Reds with a plus 5. Pirates with a minus 74. The Nationals with a minus 104. The Marlins with a minus 204. And finishing last in the National League with a minus 247 run differential, and coming 71 runs shy of 1,000 runs surrendered this season, with 929 runs given up and a negative 247 run differential. It is the Colorado Rockies. One day we're going to get that minus 1,000, or that 1,000 runs surrendered, and it's going to be the coolest moment ever. One of the niche categories there of what I love to track every baseball season. In the American League, the New York Yankees finished with the best run differential at plus 147. The Guardians at plus 87. The Astros at plus 91. The Orioles at plus 87. The Royals at plus 91. The Tigers, who are in the playoffs, at a plus 40. The Mariners at a plus 69. Nice. The Twins at a plus 7. The Red Sox at plus 4. The Tampa Bay Rays at minus 59. The Rangers at minus 55. The Blue Jays at minus 72. The 69 nice wins. Oakland Athletics, salute to the players, coaches, and staff members. Fuck John Fisher. Finish at minus 121. The Angels at a minus 162. And the worst team in baseball, with the worst run differential in baseball this year, who finished 41 and 121, surrendering 813 runs and only scoring 507 for a negative 306 run differential. The Chicago White Sox. Terrible. Just terrible. Fewest amount of runs scored. Worst run differential in baseball. Good grief. Yo, shout out to White Sox fans for enduring a season like this. Golly. But there's your run differentials for the 2024 season. And here are the Platinum Plunk final standings. It's been a while since we've talked about this too, and if you're new to the show, if you don't remember, before the season started, Pat Pitts and I sat down and said, what weird, obscure stat can we track this year in baseball? And we chose hit by pitch. So we named it the Platinum Plunk, the Chase Utley Platinum Plunk Award, and it is to keep track of the franchise, the overall Major League Baseball player, and the Philadelphia Philly who were hit by the most pitches in a season. We're going to keep track of it forever, keep a database of it. So, the inaugural Platinum Plunk Team Award goes to, drumroll, with a whopping 116 hit by pitches. My, oh my, it's the Seattle Mariners who finish in first place by 15 hit by pitches they cleared for first place for the inaugural team award for the Platinum Plunk for the most hit by pitches in the season. The next closest was the Minnesota Twins at 101, the Mets at 91, the Reds and Guardians finished tied at 87, and the Angels at 86. Your league average was 67 on the year. The Phillies finished below league average as a team, got hit by 62 pitches. And the lowest on brand, the Chicago White Sox with 43. So the Seattle Mariners take home the inaugural team award for the Platinum Plunk. And leading the way for the first ever Major League Baseball Platinum Plunk Award winner for a player, it is now Seattle Mariner Randy Arozarena, who finishes with 22 hit by pitches on the season. Randy Arozarena from the clouds. For the longest time, it was Andres Jimenez. It was who else? There was somebody from the Twins, Ryan Jeffers. They were in the lead for the longest time, early on in the season, too. Like, Jimenez was hit by, 7 pitches in April, finished with 15 on the year. Jeffers was up there in April and May, finished up with 14 on the year. Randy Arozarena with 22. Will Castro from the Twins finishes with 21, and Luke Raley from the Mariners finishes with 20. Tyler Freeman from the Guardians finishes in 4th place with 19. And Jurickson Profar and Jock Peterson and Josh Smith from the Padres, Diamondbacks, Rangers, respectively, all finished with 18 on the season. So the Mariners taking home 2 Platinum Plunk Awards for the team and player on the season. And your Philadelphia Philly, who was hit by the most pitches in 2024. We are calculating it here now. It is going to go to, let's see here, as I scrolled up too far. Here we go. Let's see. Scrolling to the Phils. To the Phils. Your Philadelphia Philly, who wins the inaugural Philadelphia Platinum Plunk Award, is going to be a tie. It is a tie, I believe, if I'm in the right column here. If I am in the right column. Okay, here I am in the right column. It is the fourth column out, just in case I lose it here, scrolling down. Okay, so for the Philadelphia Phillies, it is not a tie. I was in the wrong column earlier. For the Phillies, finishing with 10 hit-by pitches, Mr. 162 himself, Nick Castellanos, wins the inaugural Platinum Plunk Award for the Philadelphia Phillies. Wow. Nicky C coming through and wins the Platinum Plunk Award. Got hit by 10 pitches this year. Edmundo Sosa got hit by 8. Trey Turner and Alec Boehm each with 6. Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto were hit by 5. Rojas, Stubbs hit by 4. Stott got hit by 3. Bryce Harper by 2. Brandon Marsh by 2. Cody Clemens, Rafael Marchand, and Weston Wilson all hit by 1. And clearing, hit by none. David Dahl. Aramis Garcia hit by 1. Cal Stevenson hit by 1. Nick Castellanos, though, takes it home. So there are your inaugural Platinum Plunk Award winners. The Seattle Mariners, Randy Arozarena from Major League Baseball, and Nick Castellanos takes home the Philadelphia side of things for the inaugural Chase Utley Platinum Plunk Award. Keeping track of who got hit by the most pitches in a single season. This was a lot of fun to do. I think it's going to be something we continue to do, just like run differential. We were first on that here. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody was talking about run differential in 2021. We started talking about it on this show, and then from there, everyone has started talking about how important run differential is and using it as a tool. We started that on this show. So we're gonna keep track of hit by pitches and seeing how valuable they are, and if it means anything. It's the first year of us tracking it, but very, very fun all year long to kind of keep track. And I know it's been a while since we've talked about it, but it's good to get it here on the season finale day of the year to get those numbies in. So congratulations to the Seattle Mariners, Randy Arozarena, and Nick Castellanos, our inaugural Platinum Plunk Award winners for 2024. Get those early predictions in for 2025 in the YouTube comment section. But there is your underground stats and info for the 2024 regular season in Major League Baseball, brought to you by FOCO. Last bit here. Matvei Michkov is him, guys. Matvei Michkov is him. And before I keep pushing about Matvei Michkov, I want to talk to you guys about our awesome pals over at Kenwood Beer, the official beer partner of Underground Sports Philadelphia. Gear up for Red October with Kenwood Beer. Kenwood Beer is a refreshing light beer, just 4.1% ABV, only 120 calories, just 8 grams of carbs. You can get it in the Philadelphia, New Jersey, Maryland, Pittsburgh, and Delaware areas. You can also find it at your local liquor stores in those markets, but use the Kenny Finder at kenwoodbeer.com to see who's got it on tap in those markets. Kenwood Beer is simply the best. I know everybody I introduce to it, they are blown away by how delicious it is. I use it to cook all the time here. It's a big grilling beer. We love cooking with Kenny. So go to kenwoodbeer.com, use the Kenny Finder, see who's got Kenwood Beer on tap in those areas and in liquor stores in those areas. Must be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. Matvei Michkov, guys, is going to be a dog. He was fantastic in the preseason game against the Bruins. He has been awesome to watch in the early go here. And the Flyers have a dude. And it's cool to see guys like Sean Couturier and the veterans on this team when you have opposing players trying to start shit with Michkov. in a game, in a preseason game, no less. And you have guys like Coots saying, hey, let's drop the gloves here. I'm going to stand up for my guy. Michkov is beloved in that locker room already. It is cool to see the veterans on this team who have been through the highs and lows of a lot of shit with this franchise, standing up for the new guy who is just 19 years old. He is so talented, so skilled. I can't wait to watch. He has me juiced up for the Fly. Optimistic October is right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. I'm amped up for Michkov Mania. He's going to be extremely fun to watch. And, Optimistic October is here. You know what time it is. We get optimistic about those Flyers in October, and we see where it goes. But I'm pumped. Things are going to be fun this fall and winter in Philly. It's going to be very, very fun. But Red October is here. Michkov Mania is here, and the Birds need to figure it the fuck out. Working on some scheduling things, but I did put a poll out on my Twitter, and it feels like the people want to see my good, talented friend Olivia Smith hosting the pod with me in October. So we'll see if we can nab Liv for the whole month of October and see how things rock and roll and see how her schedule is and everything. And, it'd be a ton of fun to have somebody co-hosting the show with your boy, especially this time of year. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Red October week. It's time to go. I'm so excited. Oh, I can't wait. Let's go, guys. I'm pumped. Make sure you guys are following us on the socials at Underground PHI because our Red October content is going to be true to roof. Follow us on every social media platform out there. Follow me at KBIZZL311 on Twitter. Subscribe to the podcast feed. It really does help, guys. We are going to be doing a giveaway with Dewani and giving away some of her beautiful artwork. Subscribe to the pod. It might be able to get you an extra entry. Leave a 5-star review. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel, youtube.com/@UndergroundSportsPhiladelphia. We are so close to 900 subscribers, which means we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Let's make that happen before first pitch on Saturday. To get to 900, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Leave a like on the video. And, of course, click the bell icon so you know when new videos go live. Drop a comment. Who you think's going to win the Platinum Plunk Awards in 2025. And, of course, guys, this show is presented by the city of Vineland. And whether you're a company looking to expand, relocate, or a new business startup, selecting the right location is critical to your success. Vineland, New Jersey offers both an affordable business location and an excellent quality of life. The city's economic development department is a one-stop source for moving your project through the development and approval process, and their goal is to make this process as smooth as possible and to provide the fastest turnaround times in the region. If you're considering potential locations for your operation, contact the Vineland Economic Development Team at 856-794-4100. That's 856-794-4100. Vineland, New Jersey, where it's always growing season. And big thank you to Security 21 Security Systems and Paul J. Gillespie Incorporated for their continued support of this podcast. This has been episode number 677, Red October week of Underground Sports Philadelphia. I will see you guys again, maybe live on Wednesday night. I'll let you know. But new episode after this one drops on Thursday, and we're back on schedule, baby. Let's go. But until the next episode, I'm getting the heck up out of here. Now I'm signing off. Go Phils. Go Birds. Peace.